Why did the man stare at the can of orange juice? Because it said concentrate. Now, imagine a man and a woman locked in a debate as timeless as the hills. A debate of strength, wit, and horses. Yes, you heard right, horses. Our man, let's call him Bob, is being accused of not being as strong as a horse. The accuser, his wife. Let's call her Jane. Jane is not just claiming that Bob is not as strong as a horse, she's also claiming she's a horse-eater. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure that's not part of the recommended 5 a day. Bob, however, isn't taking this lying down. He's adamant. I'm not weak, he says. I can open a jar of pickles on the first try, and I don't need a map to navigate the shopping mall. But Jane is not convinced. She's seen him struggle with the pickle jar and get lost in the shopping mall more times than she can count. But Bob isn't giving up. He's determined to prove his strength, even if it means lifting every heavy object in sight. But Jane, she's not impressed. Until you can lift a horse, she says, you're not as strong as one. This back and forth continues, with Bob defending his strength and Jane insisting he's no horse. It's a wild ride, much like a rodeo, but without the cowboy hats and lassos. And as they continue to debate, it becomes clear that this isn't just about who's stronger. It's about who's more stubborn. And as the debate rages on, Jane delivers the final blow. So you think you're a horse, do you? Well, I eat horses for breakfast. And with that, the first round of this hilarious debate comes to an end. But don't worry, there's more to come. This is just the beginning of the horse debate. Why don't they ever play hide and seek with mountains? Because they always peak. So here we are, folks, 40,000 feet in the air, where our beloved couple continues their epic debate. A debate that's more heated than the on-flight chicken or beef discussion. The husband. He's like a broken record, isn't he? Insisting that his wife must obey him, regardless of where they are. "Honey, please," he implores, "even on this airplane you must heed my every word." He says this with all the solemnity of a captain announcing turbulence. But our wife, she's no pushover. She's got a tongue sharper than the airplane's wings and a wit quicker than the in-flight service. She's ready to spar, and the altitude only seems to give her an edge. She retorts, "I didn't realize we were playing Simon Says at 30,000 feet. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no ordinary couple squabble. This is a verbal dance at high altitude." The husband, trying to assert his authority, is met with the wife's quick-fire repartees. "All right, Sir Commander-Lot," she quips. "I'll be sure to ask for your permission the next time I want to recline my seat." Oh, the sarcasm. It's thicker than the mystery meat in the airplane sandwiches. She's got a comeback for every one of his attempts to control her. It's like watching a stand-up comedy show, only the punchlines are being delivered at supersonic speed. But the pièce de résistance comes when the husband, in a final attempt to assert dominance, says, "You must obey me always, even in the air." And the wife, without missing a beat, delivers a zinger that leaves everyone in stitches. She retorts, "I'll obey you when pigs fly. Oh wait, we're already in an airplane." And just like that, the cabin erupts in laughter and the husband is left speechless. A round of applause for our quick-witted wife, ladies and gentlemen. Why don't beaches worry? Because they're sure of themselves. With that, let's dive into the sandy saga of our bickering duo. The sun is high, the waves are rolling in, and the beach is the perfect backdrop for another round of their playful banter. Our husband, the ever-optimistic commander of obedience, once again attempts to rein in his spirited wife. He's about as successful as a seagull trying to juggle. "Darling," he begins, his voice smooth as a polished seashell. "All I ask is that you listen to me. We're not just on any beach. This is the beach of our relationship, and I want us to sail smoothly on these waters." His wife, the epitome of wit and charm, doesn't miss a beat. "Oh, so now you're the captain of this ship?" she retorts, her eyes twinkling brighter than the ocean at noon. "Well, Captain, last time I checked, this isn't the Titanic and you're not Leonardo DiCaprio." The husband, trying to stay afloat in this sea of sarcasm, splutters out his next words. "I don't want to be DiCaprio, I just want you to cooperate, that's all." The wife, as quick as a wave crashing on the shore, fires back. "Cooperate? Like a lifeguard who can't swim? Or like a sandcastle that won't stay up? Or maybe like that seagull over there trying to steal someone's picnic?" The husband, now as red as a lobster in a cookpot, tries to regain his composure. "No, not like that. Like a good wife should." And with a laugh as refreshing as a sea breeze, the wife gives her final retort. Sure, I'll be as obedient as a wave, just not the one you're surfing on. And so the sun sets on another chapter of their beach bickering, leaving us all to wonder what the tide will bring in next. Why did the curtain go to the doctor? Because it had window panes. Gather round, folks, because we're back home now, and the husband's latest request is about to cause quite the stir. He wants his wife to keep the curtains lifted all the time. It's a peculiar request, to say the least, and one that's bound to spark some interesting conversations. "Darling," he says, "I like the curtains up. It lets in the light and gives me a view of the world outside. It's a simple desire." His tone is earnest, almost pleading. You can almost hear the silent please at the end of his sentence. The wife, ever the comedian, can't help but seize this opportunity to poke fun at her husband. "A simple desire?" she echoes, a teasing lilt in her voice. "You make it sound as if you're asking for the moon and the stars. All you want is to have the curtains up, is that it?" "Yes," the husband replies, a little defensively. "Is that so hard to understand?" The wife, unable to resist, bursts into laughter. "You, my dear, are like a child who wants to peek through the windows all the time. Is there something out there that has caught your fancy? Or are you just bored with the view inside the house?" The husband, flustered, insists that he just enjoys the view. The wife, with a mischievous glint in her eye, promises to lift the curtain, but not without adding a condition of her own. "All right, I'll lift the curtain, but only if you promise not to window peep." Why don't we ever tell secrets on a farm? Because the potatoes have eyes and the corn has ears? Well, folks, we've had quite the ride, haven't we? From the horse debate to the curtain conundrum, it's been a roller coaster of rib-tickling, gut-busting anecdotes about the charmingly chaotic dynamics between a husband and wife. So let's take a moment to revisit these absurdly hilarious debates. First, we had the horse debate. Remember when she claimed to be a horse-eater, and he retorted, saying, "He's not just a weak man." I'm still not sure who won that one, but I can tell you this much. It's not every day you hear a wife call herself a horse-eater. Then there was the airplane antics. Oh, the airplane antics. The husband insisting on obedience at 30,000 feet. The wife, not missing a beat, shot back with a retort that could have knocked the plane off course. Who knew the skies could host such a comedy show? And let's not forget the beach bickering. Sun, sand, and a spat over who should be applying the sunscreen. With the ocean as their audience, they turned a simple day at the beach into an unforgettable comedy skit. Finally, we arrived at the curtain conundrum. The husband, wanting the curtains always lifted to fulfill his desires. The wife, in her witty repartee, reminding him that she's not a stagehand in his personal play. Each disagreement, each argument, and each banter, while seemingly trivial, added a new layer to their relationship, a layer that was not only amusing but also endearing. It showed us that humour can exist in the most unexpected of places, even in the midst of a marital spat. So, you want obedience, do you? Well, guess what? I'm not a dog. But I can fetch you some slippers if that's what floats your boat.